last lecture we completed with chapter 3, am I right? Now, learning chapter 4 and chapter 5 will be very simple because it is having the base of chapter 1. Chapter 4 and chapter 5 are non-technical topics having the base of chapter 1. And whatever information technology is associated with chapter 4 and 5, you have already learned in chapter 2 and 3. So chapter 4 and 5 will be very easy. We call it as cakewalk. It will be very easy to learn. Yes, there will be some technical topics. Not much, very few, maybe 3 to 4 questions are technical, that's it. So those questions I will be explaining you in a very normal way. Normal way means better than a normal way, with examples, with stories. Okay, rest will be very, very simple. So, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
This particular chapter is called as Business Information Systems. Now, what do we understand by Business Information System? Now, everyone knows what is business. I have discussed the thing in the first chapter. Our business is a human activity directed towards satisfaction of human wants through an exchange process with an intention of making profit. Am I right or wrong? Just a minute. Okay. Now everyone knows what is business, that we have learned in chapter 1. And everyone knows what is an information system because we have learned this in chapter 2 and 3. Now, what is business information system? A business information, see, in business, information is the key. Do you accept this fact? You require the information about the market. You require information about the product. You require information about the customers. You require information about the competitors. You require information about the government rules and regulations and policies. And you require information about almost everything, no matter if it is internal environment, no matter if it is a external environment. We require everything, but now we should think how we will get all these things. If you require information for running your business smoothly, there has to be some provision made so that you are getting this information, you are made this information available quickly, easily, efficiently. And for that, we are designing a system, and that is called as business information system. Means this system will give the information which will be used for efficient working, efficient running of a business enterprise. So we say that it is a technology that drives business. It is the technology that makes the business operation smooth, easy, and efficient. It facilitates business transaction. Now, whenever I am talking about information, it is information required for the business, and it is also the business information. What people like and dislike is the information required by the business. But when I sell something in the market, when actual sales takes place, the transactions which is happening in the business is also a type of business. And this is called as business transaction. For efficient maintaining of all this business transaction in the right manner, and giving the report to the top management, to any type of management at the right time, is also the responsibility of business information system. It's about a love triangle. It's about a three-way, I would say, getting along together. It's about the process, it's about the people, it is about the data. It is about the process, it is about the people, it is about the data. Because people run a process, and for that they require data. Or I would say people require data to run a process. Or I would say people run the process with the help of information, that is data. So it is a three-way combination. You remove one and it won't work. Remove process. What I'll do with this data? If I don't want to teach, what I will do with this? There is only process and data. No people. What to do? Okay, and there is no data. Then what will I do? So it is a three-way combination, and no element could be removed. Business information system is nothing but it will give an additional benefit, an advantage to the business organization. That is nothing but this particular information system is a new technology. Okay, it is a technology about maintaining your data. It is a technology about generating information, and it is always will be helpful for a business enterprise. Businesses will be having a number of problems. If there is no problem, obviously there is no enjoyment in life. Okay, if everything is smooth and straight, you won't enjoy life. In ECG, a straight line is of a dead person. Okay, if you are alive, you need to have that ups and downs. Am I right or wrong? When you are not, you have not seen a bad phase, how will you understand what the good phase is? Understanding? Getting it or not? We say, like, I don't know what's the case in Tamil Nadu, but in Mumbai it is, there is heat from the month of April, May. March, April, May. It is a summer season. I won't say heat, it is summer season. You sweat a lot over there, okay? And it is not very comfortable. It is not very much disturbing also, but it is not very comfortable. And after that, there is rainy season. So many people say, my family members also say, okay, my family members means, relatives, install a AC. But I am against this AC. Personally speaking, not because I cannot afford it or something like that, but I don't like this air condition. I convinced my family, my family means wife, she was saying, we will buy a AC. I said, it is not required. No, it is very much required. So I told ki, until and unless you don't feel that summer, okay, how can you enjoy that first rain? See, first rain calms everything, everything. Immediately the temperature drops down. Immediately you can note the change in climate, and that is very much soothing. But every time you are in the AC, okay, you will not feel that difference in the temperature. You will not feel that difference in the climate. So how will you enjoy that monsoon until and unless you don't suffer in the summer? Okay, she was convinced, but can't help. After having a kid, okay, these small kids, they can't bear the heat. Okay, so the doctor said, install a AC, keep him in AC, keep him in AC. Okay, so from that day, all this room, that room, all room ACs. But still I try to minimize, or I try to use the AC at minimum level, so that you can enjoy the rain. Acha, coming about problem solving. There will be n number of problems in the business, and for solving this problem you need to have information. You need to have information. I need to get to the airport, that is a problem, or that is a task that I want to achieve. But if I don't have information, I don't know the road to go to airport, okay, I'll be stranded somewhere. Now anyways, I'll not have this information, but at least I should know the right person who has the information. I'll call Bharti or NTL. Okay, cab will come, pick me, drop me to the airport. That's it, na? Even if I don't have the information, still I have the right person who knows that information or who has that information. So this is how information will be useful for solving a problem. Information will be useful for timely and correct decision. Information will be useful for timely and correct information will be useful for timely and correct decision. Now, it's very important that you take your decisions on time. If a decision is delayed, you might miss the opportunity. And remember, opportunity knocks the door only once. Hello, that section, please stay calm. Opportunity knocks the door only once, and you should know what is the right time to access that particular opportunity. This is nothing but you are required to take timely and correct decision. Now, in today's world, the business is so scattered. In today's world, the business is so scattered that we need to communicate with our customer, with our suppliers, with our employees who are situated at far places. And that's why communication becomes the key. So this particular information system, business information system, will help you to communicate with your employees, to communicate with your creditors, with your shareholders, with your suppliers, with your customers, maybe some government agencies. And today's technology will help you to communicate with them quick and fast. Immediate communication is possible. Now I need not talk about communication with the help of internet or with the help of computers. And last is, all I can say is business information system is there for increasing the organizational productivity and competitiveness. So in this particular question, I am feeling that I have discussed nothing about information technology as such. It is general business ethics type of a thing, or general business undertaking business activities like that. So it is more of commerce rather than of information technology. We are now moving to the next part, and that is, what is an information system? What is an information system? Information system is a system where you will collect information, you will store information, you will process information, and you will disseminate information. That is giving the right information to the right people at the right time. So whenever we are talking about information system, it has got some components like hardware. There has to be hardware to store and to process. There has to be software so that it can direct the hardware properly. It is through the software that we collect information. It is through a software that we show or give information. And again, it is through the software that we distribute, that is, disseminate information. Then the most important part of any information system is the people. It is the people who give information inside the system. It is the people who process the information, and it is the people who will be seeing the information, taking the information. And information need to have some raw material, and that raw material is nothing but the data, because it is the data which has been processed to get information. And to communicate this information to far-off places, not required far-off places, to communicate this information, we require certain communication devices. The information system is a setup of hardware, software, people, data, and last but not the least, communication devices. It's a process where you will be taking the input from n number of sources, process that particular data, and store it if required, or present it as an output. And in many cases, this particular output is required to be distributed. I've said it, that distribution is in the case of tangible goods. But because information is intangible, you are required to use the word disseminate. Dissemination of information. Now, this information system will support operation. Operation means executing a process. Business is full of business processes. All these business processes are required to be executed. That's nothing but something called as what? Operation. Then management. We know what is management. Management is an art of getting the things done through other people, right? So managing a business is also a big activity. It's a responsible activity. For that, you will require information, which is provided by the information system. And last but not the least, again, the same old things I'm repeating, information is required for decision making. I can't take decision if I don't have information. How? We are now moving to question number 3. And what are the components of an information system? Now we are trying to understand what are the components of an information system. What are those things which make up an information system? Actually, we have seen it over here, hardware, software, all those things. But now we will be elaborating on it. We will be elaborating on it. The components. Number 1 is the people. I told you people are those things, or they are those individuals who are using this information. But when we talk about people, there are different types of people. Number 1 is the users. An end user who is punching the transaction inside a computing system is a user. The person who is sitting at the top level management, the person who is sitting at the top level management, and he analyzes all this information, maybe for taking some decisions, for planning something for the near future, that is also a user. Am I right or wrong? So these are called as end users who use the system. Understanding? Now there are some people who are converting the data into information, and these people are called as IT specialists. So IT specialists are technically sound people who are associated with the system, who take care of the system, who maintain the system, and who see to it that the system is functioning appropriately. It is functioning in the way it is intended to do, and it is giving the right information to those people who need it. So there are 2 types of people. When we talk about food, there are 2 types of people. One, we who eat food. and one our mama who cooks the food. It is in the same way. Users who use the system and IT specialist people who create the system and who takes care of the system. Okay, next is hardware. Obviously, you require hardware. Hardware are those physical, tangible components which will help to do your things. So when we talk about hardware, we are talking about a machine. Machine means first basic thing, motherboard, what a processor you will use, how much memory is required, what will be the various input devices, what will be the various output devices. Okay, all these things comes under machine. And one inseparable part of the machine which have been said over there exclusively is called as storage. How you will be storing the data. Actually, storage is a part of hardware itself, but storage is having its own importance. Storage is having its own importance, and that's nothing but something called as hardware. Then hardware cannot perform until and unless it is not properly supported by software. It is actually the software which makes the hardware run. The software is collection of programs. The program, the process which will convert the data into information. In general terms, it is converting input into output. And the procedures. Procedure is nothing but doing the things step by step is called as what? Procedure. And last but not the least is the data. Now, there is a relationship between data, information and knowledge. There is a relationship between data, information and knowledge. Now, data is just the collection of facts and figures. Data is just the collection of facts and figures. You may or may not understand. When this data is processed, it is called as information. And when the information is complete, when it describes a specific thing to its fullest, it is called as knowledge. Understanding? Like for example, there is something written over here. I don't know what is this. I don't know what is this. This is nothing but data for me. It is some collection of characters and some numbers. I don't know what is this. Okay, maybe if I ask someone, they'll tell me what exactly is this. That is nothing but data. That is nothing but data. Here we are having an air conditioning system. With the help of air conditioning system, we can have the right temperature to our premises, to our room. Now, do I have the complete knowledge about this? No. That means I have information. This will help me to cool off. This is nothing but the projector. That is information. And when I talk about a computer, I have got complete information about that computer. Then I can say that I am knowledgeable in terms of computers. So that's the relationship between data, information and knowledge. Data, just raw collection of facts and figures. When it is processed, when it is polished, when it indicates something sensible, it is called as information. And information to its fullest is nothing but knowledge. So here we are trying to analyze the fourth component, and that is called as data. Okay. Now data could be in the form of data, that is raw. And data could be in the form of knowledge. That means the data is processed very properly, converted into information. All types of information which is required about that particular system, about that particular entity is being collected and stored properly. So when a person refers to that system, that person gets complete knowledge, not just information, gets complete knowledge about that particular entity or a process. So these are the four components of information system. Now, let's try to understand the process of information. How this information is being processed. First and the foremost thing is, input is required to be taken. The input is nothing but the data about a specific entity. Or it could be, whenever you are inputting, directly it is polished data. That means you can directly accept what? Information. or it could be instructions. Instructions are nothing but commands. Okay, commands is also one type of data. Commands come together to form program. So program is one type of data. Programs come together to form software. Software is also one way or the other a type of information, a type of data only. That is called as input. Input is in the form of data, information, or instructions. Input is given obviously with only one sole intention, and that is to get output. So the output could be in the form of printouts, that is printing. It could be reports, or it could be graphics. Graphics means the output is given on monitor. And this top level management always likes to have information in the form of charts and diagrams. Why? Because they are analyzing the data of past 5 years. If you give them big ledgers, they won't be able to understand. They're asking for sales report. And what I'm doing is, of last 5 years, all bills I'm keeping before them. Take 5 years information. Will they able to understand that information? Okay, they will understand, but just imagine how much time they will take. But instead of that, if I compile all that information, I put them on a system, year-wise I am showing them, quarter-wise I am showing them, I'm showing them in the form of bar diagram or a pie chart, something constructive. Okay, something very creative manner I am showing that using graphics and all these things. So I need not refer those files. I can easily see. Before 5 years, it was very bare minimum. Second year, it rose. Third year, it was maximum. Fourth year, it came down. Fifth year, it is almost same. So I can understand the trend of the sales. That is the output. Then the next part is the process. Process refers to the calculation. Process refers to programming. A process is nothing but converting the data into information. For that you require certain programs, and these programs can be made out of some calculations. That is called as the process. And last is the control. You need to keep a control. And how to keep a control on the system? The system should give you a feedback whether everything is proper or not. If there is some problem, then we can maintain, we can change the system. And this control is also important for decision making. So these are nothing but the components of a information system. Understanding? Okay. So do you need this? we are moving to the next question, that is called as what are the levels of information system, and explain the users of information system. Actually, these are two questions combined together, but for understanding purpose, for making it easy, I have divided this into two separate questions. Levels of information system, first understand it properly, and then go for who are the various types of users that are associated with various levels of information system. To understand the levels of information system, one needs to have the knowledge of levels of management. Now in your 11th standard, 12th standard, in a subject called as commerce, you must have seen a diagram called as triangle. That triangle was divided into three parts. Even though it was divided into three equal parts, the lower part always covered a bigger area. For a simple reason, there are more number of people in the lower level of management. If you go one step up, you would see a middle level management, and that was occupying a smaller area for a simple reason that the people in the middle level management are less. And if you go at the topmost part, you will see a very small area covered by it. That means the number of people at the top level management is very few. Okay. Now what this top level, middle level, lower level management is doing? For that, let's take an example. Suppose there is a 30-story building, 30 floors building. You are living on the 30th floor, and when you stand in your balcony, or maybe when you open your window, you will be able to see, your view will be very, very long. It will be going very far away. The range that you are able to see is very, very far. Come down to the 15th floor. You will be able to see, but that range would be lesser. You'll be having n number of obstacles in between. And when you go on the ground floor, and when you open your window or balcony, you will see a wall. And that is nothing but the compound wall of your own society. Okay, so that means the vision that you have is blocked. It is very much limited. Same concept is applied for top level, middle level, lower level. The lower level people think only of one day. They think only about the day-to-day activities of an organization. When you come up to the middle level of management, the range of their vision or the whatever they are seeing is to a far distance, to a specific distance. Obviously, it is more than the lower level, and it has to be less than the upper level. What they see is the functioning of their own department. Okay, now functioning of their own department could be a month long, could be 6 months long, could be year long. So they are seeing that far. When you see, or when you go at the top level, okay, they have the longest vision. They can see very far off distances. And so the top level management has to do long range planning. They are having a vision which will take them after this 5 years, 10 years. They are able to visualize the things which will be happening after 10 years. And they have to see the overall working of the organization. They are responsible for each and everything happening in an organization. This is nothing but something called as the levels of management. In the same way, you also have levels of information system. Here also you have 3 levels of information system, but there is one level which is been added as a patch over here. Additional to 3, we are having a patch. Let's see what is that. First things first, or the top level is called as the strategic level system. Now this particular strategic level system is seen by, or this particular level is being seen by strategic managers. Now strategy actually is a word derived from a French word strategos, means plan of a military. When military plans, their plans are full-fledged, because if their plans are not complete, you might lose some lives. And that's why they have to think in an intensive manner, and then only they draft the plans. Same type of urge or same type of planning is done by strategic managers. They are supposed to think about each and every aspect of business, and not just of the business, about the external environment also. So this strategic level information system is used by the strategic managers. To ease this, what exactly is this strategic managers? They are nothing but the top level managers. They are the people who belong to the top level of management. And I told you, they visualize, they see a very long range. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, that's called as a long range. So this particular type of people are required to do a long range planning. They are required to do long range planning. They are also required to think about the external conditions. See, what are external conditions? Changing of government rules and regulations are external conditions. Okay? Change in the taste and preferences of the customer are external conditions. New product launched in the market having an impact on our product is nothing but an external condition. Change in climatic conditions is nothing but external condition. External conditions refer to those conditions which are beyond our control. We don't have impact on those conditions. So this particular top level management has to take care of all these external conditions. Then I always say that external conditions always have an impact on the internal conditions. For example, government's ban on plastic bags will be having an impact on our company. If our company is producing plastic bags, what are we supposed to do? What about the employees who are working in our organization? So this particular change in the external environment will be having an impact on the internal environment. Yes or no? Government is giving subsidy on tractors, on production of tractors, because tractors is normally used by farmers. It's not a luxury. It's a need, I would say. So government is providing subsidy. So now my company, who is into automobiles, would like to take chance or would like to take advantage of this situation. We will take a decision of starting manufacturing tractors. We don't have to pay any type of tax, plus we'll be getting subsidies. So that is how I can make more profits. So it will be having an impact on the internal conditions. Internal conditions are those conditions which I can control. Right. So I was talking about what this top level management is doing. The strategic level information system, this information system will be used by this particular level of management. Stepping down, we are moving to the management level system. Management level system will be used by middle level management. Now middle level management is nothing but departmental heads. Now this particular management will be monitoring, controlling, and will be making decisions which are required to be done by a middle level management. What middle level management does? They are appointing the people for their own department. They are seeing the working of their own department. Whatever their department wants as input, they see to it, they get it. Whatever processing is required to be done by that particular department, they'll see that they do it. The demands of the employees of that particular department, they will be seen by them. So everything related to their own department will be done by middle level managers. And so that, and for that, whatever data they require, they will be given to them by the management level system. So they are monitoring, controlling, and they are making decisions related to their own department. This can be summed up together to say that they are looking after the administrative work looked after by the middle level management. Then, before going to the lower level management, I was talking about a patch. And that is nothing but the knowledge level system. Now, knowledge level system is that system which is used by data workers. Now, don't go for the word workers. Data workers means they are intelligent people. They understand information technology. They understand the need of importance. And their work is to discover, process, and storage of knowledge. Whenever we don't have knowledge about a particular thing, we get knowledge, we try to acquire that particular knowledge. So that is acquiring of the knowledge, discovery of the knowledge. Now, knowledge is not pure in its format. So we need to process that particular knowledge, store it somewhere. The simple example I can give that I am also a knowledge worker, a data worker. Okay, what I am supposed to teach you, I discovered it. Okay, I brought all the things together. Read the module and then read the notes. Well, surely, I'm 100% sure that you will feel that notes are better. We are able to understand it. Why? Because I took some time for processing. I processed it. I simplified it. I added some examples in it. Some things which are not convincing, I changed it. Changed it means changed in my own terms. Okay. So that is called as processing. And then all things were brought together to create these notes. You call it as material. Okay. I've done that. Now still it is in the process. It is in the storage format. And then it will be distributed to you. In the same way, these knowledge workers will be discovering the data, discovering the knowledge, they will be processing and they will be storing. So this cultivated knowledge can be used by n number of people in the organization. They support everyone. They give knowledge, they give information to the strategic level system people, they give knowledge to the management level system people, and they also give knowledge to operational level systems or operational level managers. Okay, that is the patch I was talking about. And these people are highly qualified and highly trained in the field of information technology. They know the science of information technology. And last is the operational level system. Now this level is nothing but who will take care of the day-to-day activities of an organization. The top level management makes a plan. The top level management makes a plan that this year we have to produce 1,200 units of our car. They are manufacturing cars. Okay, so this is the plan. So the production department understands their work, what is required to be done. So they will also plan. If the objective is to produce 1,200 cars in 1 year, that means for every month we are supposed to manufacture 1,200 units. So they are splitting up that plan. They understand their own department work. And if this is the plan, then the lower level of management needs to understand in 1 day, 4 car assemblies should be completed. See how the plan is been splitted. What the top level is doing, yearly plan, big plans, long range planning. Middle level management, that is the management level system, splitting it into their departmental work or middle level planning. And operational level system does day-to-day planning. So it has been done by someone called as operational managers. Operation means a process. Those people who are managing the process is called as process managers or operational managers. And they are doing things like attending the customer orders, raising the invoices, doing the production, completing the production schedules on time. All such type of things will be done by what? Operational level system. So these are the 3 different levels of information system with a small patch. Now the next question or the next part is actually associated with this particular levels of information system, and it says who are those people, what are the various posts that are associated with different types of systems or different levels of information system. We had discussed, or we had started with the first type of system, and that was called as information system levels. Now we are learning information system users. Information system users at the strategic level, we have the CEO, that is the Chief Executive Officer, the CFO, Chief Finance Officer, CM, Chief Minister Ille, it's the chairman. Then BOD is the, everyone knows that, President, the Vice President, the corporate head. Every company is having a corporate office, and of that particular office, who is the head? That's called as the corporate head. Chief Operational Officer, normally he is the head of the production team. And Chief Information Officer. In today's world, in today's business world, information has become very important, and so we have appointed a person responsible for collecting, storing and giving information, and that person is called as the Chief Information Officer. So all these people are nothing but the posts at the top level management. In terms of levels of information system, we call it as the strategic level information system. Moving down one step, we are talking about the management level users. We have the general manager or the regional manager. Regional manager looks about one particular region. So he is defined with one particular area of working. One particular area, I can call it as one particular department. Then general manager, he is supposed to look the general working of an organization. Working of an organization is not involved in the planning part, which is done by the top level management. So he lies in the middle level of management. The middle level management has got one important task cut out. These are those people who are associated with the lower level and with the employees. So they are the right people to collect all the information. Information about the market, information about the product, information about the competitors. Okay, this information they are collecting, and they are communicating the same information upwards. Upwards means they are giving the information to the top level management. Management work is to think. Management's work is not to collect all this information. So this is done by the lower levels of management. And along with giving information, along with communicating upwards, they are also giving their suggestions and feedbacks. If a particular product was developed as per the instructions given by the strategic level, top level, how that product was, what was its report in the market, how did it do in the market, what is my personal opinion about this particular product, all such type of suggestions are welcomed by the top level management, and it becomes the duty of the middle level management to communicate upwards. So their duty is to help to improve the performance. Help to improve the performance. Strategic level, improve the performance by strong decision making, timely decision making. Okay, and for decision making, whatever help is required, that has been provided by the management level, what? Information system users. Now moving to knowledge level. Knowledge level information system. Who are the people associated with this? I told you, they are information technology field people. They are also referred to as knowledge workers or data workers. They will provide information to everyone in the way they like. They are serving the lower level, they are serving the middle level, they are serving the top level. Who are they? They are qualified. Okay, for handling computers, you require right type of qualification. They are recruited, means you will be receiving n number of resumes. Receive it. After that, a proper selection will take place, and from that selected people, okay, after that they will be given training. Why training is required to be given? You may be expert of your field. Fine, good, it's an advantage, but you need to understand how our system works, how our company is working, and then use your knowledge for improving, bettering the performance of the company. So training is required to be given no matter how smart you are, and that's why training is given to such type of employees. They are called as the knowledge level users. And last but not the least is called as the operational level users. I said they are the operational managers, the process owners. I have used this word very often, process owner. That's nothing but the person responsible for a specific process. They are nothing but the operational managers. Supervisors, they lie just below these operational managers, because they are the people who will be getting the work done from the employees. They are the people who come in direct contact with the employees, and ultimately it is the workers who are doing the productive work and not the management. What they do the day-to-day management of the organization. They're also referred to as first line managers. When you have different units, a company is having n number of units. So in that particular unit, a lower level manager is called as the first line manager. And I told you their job is to directly interact with the employees, with the workers. So that was nothing but actually a combination of question 4 and 5. That is, what are the levels of information system and who are the users associated with that particular information system. Understanding this was a topic together, right? Getting it? We are the more you keep me waiting, the more questions I'll keep on skipping. I've skipped anyways one part of question number 2. You keep me waiting, I skip that much portion. It's up to you. We are starting with the next question, and that is called as a transaction processing system. Now, first and the foremost thing is, what is a transaction? Let's try to understand the meaning of the term transaction. Each and everything that happens in a business is called as a transaction. I am purchasing goods is a transaction. I am selling the goods is a transaction. I'm paying salary to my employee is a transaction. My debtor is paying to me is a transaction. I am transferring the funds is a transaction. I am making a provision for tax is a transaction. Am I right or wrong? Yes or no? I'm paying for electricity bills is a transaction. So any event that takes place in business is nothing but a transaction. If you want your business to give the right data, right information, if you want the right picture of how the business is doing, all these small chinna transactions should be taken care of very, very well. And that's why you require a system, and this system is called as transaction processing system, where you process the data in such a way that it gives you a true and fair picture of the business. It will really tell you that whether your business is making profits or not, and that is referred to as a transaction processing system. Let's try to get into some technical details about a transaction processing system. Now, what exactly a transaction processing system is doing? It takes care of the day-to-day transactions that are happening in a business. Taking the order of a customer is transaction. Processing his order is a transaction. Sending him the goods is a transaction. Raising the invoice is a transaction. Collecting the funds from him is a transaction. So all the day-to-day transactions which takes place, you have to take care of these transactions. When I say take care of the transaction, means what? You need to collect the details about this transaction. You need to store the details about these transactions. If required, modifications are required to be made in the data of these transactions, and whenever required, you are supposed to retrieve this data for the right people. So transaction processing system collects, stores, modifies, retrieves the details of a day-to-day transactions. Understanding? Collecting data of day-to-day transactions. Now, in today's world, it is very, very important to process the data instantaneously. Means instant processing is required to be done, and with the help of information technology, that is surely possible. How? I'll explain. I'll give you one example. The example has two parts. First part is about that particular processing where computers were not used and how the efficiency was very low. And now the same transaction processed with the help of computers, and you can understand how the efficiency of the business is very high. Think about that day when you first time went in a bank. So you must be seeing computer right from the very first day. Talk with your parents on this issue. How was banking system in 80s? In 80s, banks were there. How they were working? The bank open time, that is called as working hours of the bank, was very less. It would open up in the morning at 8:30, 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9:30, and it used to shut down at 1:30 or 12:30. That's it. Finished. Bank closed. So you might think, so nice, work only for 4 hours and then chutti. It was not like that. After the bank closing down means what? Bank is closing for the customers, not for the employees. Then you will say, what are they doing sitting inside? I'll tell you what. Let's try to put some light on one particular transaction so you will understand what they are doing. Okay. You need to withdraw money from your bank. So you have to fill up a check or maybe a withdrawal slip and put that check inside that passbook or withdrawal slip inside that passbook and give it to not teller, accountant. An accountant means there are various sections, 1 to 1 lakh, this section, 1 lakh 1 to 2 lakh, this section, 2 lakh 1 to 3 lakh, this section, and so on. So where your account is, in which section your account is, you are supposed to give your check in that section only. Many times such things happen. Other two counters are full vacant. People are sleeping over there. And this particular accountant is working very hard because all by God's grace or by God's disgrace, whatever you may call, okay, all the customers are of that same patch only. There is a big line over here. Others, enjoy. You're supposed to give that. Then he will take your slip, bank, check, whatever, and he will give you one token. Okay, nice brass coin, and the letter will be, the numbers will be carved on it. Nice thing to have. Then what his work is, he will take that particular check or that particular withdrawal slip, and depending upon the account number, he will remove that ledger. He'll open that particular page where your account is. You are asking for 10,000 rupees. What is the balance? 8,000. Then he gets frustrated. Account number 420. I'm here. And you don't have balance. Take this. Go. 40. But, and he used to get very angry because no work is done. Ultimately nothing is served. No one is served. Unnecessary work for him. He'll close that ledger and push it inside. But on the other hand, you want 8,000 and the balance is 20,000. So what he would do is, he would check it, he would push the ledger inside, and then he would approve it and he would send it for verification. Now this verification is verification of the signature. Now it will go to a person having all big, not big books, actually it is small book, but it is the big storage area. Then depending upon the account number, he has to pull out that specific card where all the details are given of yours at the time of joining. You had only filled that card, you had only signed that card. Then he will check whether the sign is proper. Then he will approve it. It will go further to check the genuinity of the check. If it is a check for withdrawal slip, genuinity is not required to be done. And then all these things will go to the cashier. There will be a big queue with the cashier, and then he'll pick up that token number is written. Okay, then he will type that number. Ding dong. Then that person will come, give the token number, take the money, and go. This natak, I mean to say this show, will go on for 4 hours. After that, bank shutter is closed. Is the work finished? No. Now that withdrawal slips what are being collected, every transaction that took place, people deposited the money, people had withdrawn the money, people had made some n number of requests, they had taken a demand draft. All these things are called as transactions. Now people will start working on the masters. Means what was the first transaction of the day? One person had withdrawn 8,000 rupees. Again that ledger will be pulled out. That page will be opened. Then the entry will be made in the ledger. Date, to, buy, whatever, withdrawn, whatever, and then the balance amount also with a calculator, approved, and then keep it. In such a way, every transaction is again restarted from first till the end. All the masters are updated. This work is done till 5:30. If the work is not completed, they have to work overtime. It's as simple as that. Okay, and then they would go home. So actually speaking, they are working for 8 hours. But what's the productivity? What is the service users are getting? Only 4 hours. And if suppose there were 2, 3, 4 days holidays in between, then you could just see the banks were crowded more than the railway stations. Getting it? So see the efficiency of the system. I'm not talking about the efficiency of the people. People are not to be blamed over here. What can they do? They are doing their job at their best. So this is how it was being done. So data processing was done over here, but it was not instant. It was not instant, but today it is not so. Today, when you withdraw money, you ask for 10,000 rupees, okay, you will get. But when 10,000 rupees will be given to you, immediately that 10,000 rupees will be reduced from your existing balance to get a new balance. Okay, so now this work is not required to be, is not required to be done by the accountant, right? And so now you can have banks which are working 8 hours. There are many banks who work for 12 hours, 8 to 8 banking. Any point of time you can go and have your transaction in a bank. And that is nothing but the power of instant processing. This is the level of service that you can get. And this is only possible with the help of information technology. So transaction processing system aims at instant processing of any transaction. And so the data is, the advantage is you will get data anytime that you need. Anytime you ask for data, immediately you will be getting the updated information. What you do is, you withdraw some money from bank, maybe 1,000 rupees. Okay, and immediately the next transaction you check the balance, you will be getting an updated balance. You will be getting the balance which is 1,000 rupees less. Why? Because as soon as you withdraw, immediately the updates are being done, and this is possible only with the help of a transaction processing system. One more example that I can give you is a, say, railway reservation system. Normally, what I do while booking a railway ticket is, I first check it on the indianrail.gov.in. I put the date, I put the train number, the class that I need, and then I check whether it is available. If it is available, I go and stand in the queue, or I send someone to stand in the queue. Depends on my time management. I never go for online booking of a ticket. I don't believe it. There is a great risk in it. And I don't want to discuss that right now. It's not the part of the scope of the lecture. So I send that person. As soon as your ticket is booked, immediately you can check the status on on your computer through the internet. You will see that the availability has gone down 1 seat or in 1 number. You cancel a ticket. You cancel a ticket, immediately you can see that the waiting list number is going ahead by 1 number. It has been reduced. So such instant processing is taking place, which gives the ready perfect data any point of time. Immediately I will be getting the latest information. Now today, with the help of some tracking systems, you can also know that till where your train have come. Suppose the train is starting somewhere in Kanyakumari, and maybe all the way it is coming to Mumbai, and you are somewhere in Karnataka, Hubli, something, not Hubli won't come, Mangalore will come. So if you are standing at Mangalore, you need not worry when the train will come, when the train will come, you look for announcement. No, there is some tracking system with your cell phone. You can type that train number, and you will come to know where exactly the train is. And then you come to know how much time it will take. So now we are having this government level information also instantly, and that is purely possible with the help of a transaction processing system, which aims at giving you data which is perfect at any point of time. That's called as transaction processing system. Are you understanding? Okay. After this transaction processing system, we move to the next one, and that is called as what are the various attributes? What are the various features, you can say, okay, of a transaction processing system? The first one is called as access control. Access control means a transaction processing system can be operated, can be accessed by only authorized users. Can you go and do your transaction on your own inside a bank system? Huh? Go inside the bank, and where that person is sitting, hey, get up, let me sit. You sit there and you do your own transaction. Are you allowed to do that? Huh? Can you do that? Railway reservation, can you do on your own? Huh? I'm not talking about internet. Even if you're doing even if you're booking your ticket on internet, it is not you who are doing it. It is the server, it is the program who is doing it. You are just giving information, that's it. You are not doing it. And forget about going inside that railway reservation, that block, going inside, then accessing the computer and putting all the data and getting your ticket on your own. It is not just possible. Why? Because transaction processing system will allow only those people to access who are authorized. Okay, so only authorized personnel, only people having authority will be allowed to access the data, the information, or allowed to operate the system. Next is called as equivalence TPS. Equivalence means processing the data in a similar way. All the transactions of the same nature will be processed in the same manner only. You'll ask me what exactly it means. What exactly is the idea behind this? Everyone must be having tea. Tea? Okay. Tea, coffee, whatever. But I'm interested in tea now. There are different ways of preparing tea, right? Process number 1, water, boil it, put sugar, put tea powder, put milk, that's one way. 2, water and milk, mix it together, keep it for boiling, put sugar, put tea, that's one way. 3, take boiling water directly, boil the water and then take it, put it inside the cup, put sugar, and then tea bags, dip, dip, dip. If you want a stronger, dip a little longer, dip, dip, dip. Put milk, tea is ready. Some people have got a very strange way, not strange way, but it's very, very, very different. Direct milk, no water used. Direct milk, sugar and tea. And that tea, oh my God. Many people like it also, but I personally don't like it. I call it milkshake tea flavored.